I wanted to bring up more like superhero stuff for dry open today, but I can't think of anything. I said to watch Shazam. I really want to. I know it's like being. It's got hardcore panned, but it's making me want to watch it more now. Ant-Man, Quantumania.
Oh yeah, I still haven't seen that. Is Guardians out yet?
That comes out this weekend.
This Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited for that.
So if we want to, we can go see it next Wednesday after recording.
Yeah, let's go see it. I know Fallon wants to go.
Yeah. That's why I was like, because you said like last week, we're going to go see Guardians. And I'm like,
no, you're not.
Not even out yet, fire.
Not yet. Yeah, I just rewatched all of them. I don't like the second one still.
What do you mean all of them?
The Guardians.
There's only 2 of them. Unless you're counting the Christmas special.
I haven't watched that yet.
You really need to.
I don't like the second one. I don't like Ego.
I mean, it's kind of just like what's best about.
I find it interesting.
It's more. What's more interesting is actually Gamora and Nebula's kind of like arc and growth in it. Yeah. Introducing a Mantis is nice as well.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Is like the only thing that really, I don't know, the Ego thing really rubs me the wrong way.
Is it your daddy issues coming through?
No, I just didn't find it interesting. I was like, this is me. Maybe it's because the whole daddy issue thing. I'm just like, boring. But
get over it, man. I have.
When I like the kind of criminal aspect they have in the first one. I mean, I know that starts off with them stealing, but it gets so
the heisty ideas.
Yeah, it gets so off of that because of the Ego planet thing.
Oh yeah, because they're no longer that, and they're now the Guardians of the Galaxy. No, but they're the good guys.
Like at the end of the first one, he's like, should we do good or bad or a little bit of both? And she's like, why don't you decide? And he's like, a little bit of both it is. You know, like that.
And then it never happens.
I know, I like that Han Solo smuggler.
But he is so not a Han Solo. I mean, he the thing is that he wants to be Han Solo so bad that he fails to be Han Solo, you know?
Yeah. Anyways, let's get into this.
I am the captain now.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy
and Jacob's mixtape.
Welcome back, everyone.
There we go.
We are reviewing 2019's Brightburn.
Brightburn. Finishing off I guess it's just like our super villain.
Yeah, like
whole origin story.
Yeah.
Blockity-block.
Unconventional superhero movies.
Nah, no. Unconventional superhero movies would be like Super and Kick-Ass.
Super. I forgot about that movie.
Super is like there's a cameo in that little screenshot that we're talking about. Uh-huh. Yeah, Super's one of those heroes in the.
Oh really?
Yeah.
In the box?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you talking about? Do
yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah, because Super's James Gunn.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll talk about that.
Yes, guys. Brightburn. Yes. What do you say? It came out May 24th, 2019.
Yes.
I
didn't say the month, but yes.
You actually, why don't you do do your quick synopsis?
A young boy becomes a violent meta-human on a killing spree.
Superman, if he was bad.
Superman, if he was a total psycho for no reason whatsoever.
Superman, if he was bad.
He was a bad Superman.
Bad Superboy.
Bad Superboy. This bad Superboy. It's like it's trying to be.
No, exactly. That's
which is the satire of it. But I like
satire.
I just see that like if you could have made this movie, and if you were trying to like pretend that you weren't doing that, you'd be like really annoyed by it.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're just doing it.
Well, because that's exactly what they wanted to do.
Well, even like the color schemes, there's even like he wears blue.
Much homage.
Red. Yeah, there's a lot of homage.
So much homage to
and that makes it
Superman.
Fun, especially if you're a comic book fan. Exactly. It makes it kind of fun. I could also see being a comic book fan that being annoying to you, but I'm a comic book fan. I think it's fun. Kind of.
Yeah, I thought it was. I think this movie is very much underappreciated.
Yeah.
But also, I understand why it's not appreciated.
Exactly. I get. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Because even like box office wise, so yeah, it was like number 105 domestically and number 149 worldwide. And it's technically actually like it was released in the United States on May 24th. It was released like across the seas, across the pond, around like May 9th and like through like early May, and it took like a while for it to like strangely get into America. I don't know. It was a very strange release schedule I saw worldwide.
I feel like this would do better in the States than it would like in the UK, or this just feels like a very American movie.
Well, I mean, because it's
It's in Kansas.
it's turning it on its head. Superman, who's like
Boy Scout,
America's
101.
Boy Scout type thing. Other than
or Russia's.
Yeah, well, that's a different one. And that actually like that goes into more like the nurture, like the lessons for. Anyway, how many movies did you have for 2019 again?
It didn't change. 36 still.
Okay, so mine went up a lot.
Do you remember watching these since episode 126?
No, it was. I think I was a little drunk when we were doing Hustlers, and I just don't think I counted properly.
Like
from Hustlers,
like when we were recording?
No.
Oh, okay. No. Wow, you seemed fine.
No, like going and watching, like when I was doing all of my notes, like as from watching Hustlers and I was doing everything, I had, had a couple of drinks, maybe a little more than I thought. And because I only counted 19 on Hustlers.
Yeah. What do you have now? 42?
45.
Oh, nice. Good guess.
Yeah. And I remember like even this time I was sitting there, I was like, 45. Like, what did I get last time? What did I get for Hustlers? And I look and I saw 19. I'm like, wait, what?
Well, it's interesting.
And then I went back through the list this time and I was like, all right, I'm going to double count, make sure I am getting 45. And then boom, I was like, I just didn't look at this list good enough.
Well, I was even looking at it, like I'm looking at it right now.
2019.
2019, there was a lot of movies that I was interested in seeing, but I just never got around to.
Mm-hmm.
Like 1917, I really wanted to watch that, but it's with a big epic war movie like that, I have to be in the right mindset to like sit there for 3 hours. And, yeah, there's like a lot of like Glass. Still haven't seen Glass.
Saw Glass. But you see, this is around the time.
Hey, there's another one. Weird superhero movie.
Yeah. Unconventional, yeah. What I realized is like through like 2019 and then through obviously 2020, I just started renting movies like every now and then, like that I was like, this is out now, I want to watch it.
Was that during the shutdown?
2020 was.
Maybe that's why, because I didn't get into the whole renting. Like, I was really resistant to it because I didn't want to spend the money.
Yeah.
For a long time. It wasn't towards the end of it that I was like, fuck it, I need to consume something.
Yeah. No, it was like through 2019 where I was like, I don't know why I'm not utilizing this as much as I can because I have the money to spend for it. Yeah. And it's like, I'm also like, it's $4. If I do it once a week, it's $4 a week to rent a movie that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's a way of looking at it.
Also, I like to do my double features type thing where like I'll do like 2 movies in a day and I might rent both of them.
Oh yeah.
Or 3 movies in a day. I've done that before.
And also it did pretty well too. It's that weird thing. It's a budget of 6 to 12 million. Mm-hmm. And it did like, what was it? 32.9 it grossed.
Oh, so it
if it's the 6 million, it's great. It's the 12 million. You're like, all right, well.
Yeah.
But this also kind of feels more like a kind of a passion project kind of thing, more than trying to make a big commercial success.
Yes, I will actually agree with that. Well, let's get into the directors and it's the writers and the producer more, but like because this director just kind of like sure.
Yeah, David Yarovesky. 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 Wasn't super off.
No, just so you're like Yahtzee.
David Yahtzee.
All right, Peter.
The only thing I've actually ever seen was Night Books, which is like a fun little kid.
Yeah, that's a Netflix original.
Yeah, but also I've come to realize like one of my favorite things to digest is like supernatural
kids
stuff. Like,
did you watch the Clocks in the Wall thing with Jack Black?
No, because it just looked like a weird Goosebumps alternative because Jack Black was yeah. So it just kind of felt weird to me, so I never got around to it.
Yeah, I mean,
would I like it?
I haven't seen it. I was just curious. Yeah, so like Night Books, yeah, like it's Netflix original. He has another one called The Hive that he directed.
Did you read what that was about? I didn't get it.
I did, but I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
But he's also, I mean, he's directed a handful of music videos.
Yeah.
I don't know, just like he doesn't have a Wikipedia page. I couldn't really find anything else on the guy.
Yeah,
I was kind of like, did you direct this? Like, like, who are you? Who are you, man?
And then our writer,
David, are you real?
Our writers are Brian Gunn, who is James Gunn's brother, and Mark Gunn, who is his cousin.
Yes.
And if you don't know who James Gunn is,
we were just talking about Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah, like
super
actually our very first recorded episode that we never released.
Slither.
Yeah, which we got to go back to at some point.
Yeah, we do need to go back to watch that. Yeah,
we did. I mean, it's been a few years, and we didn't have
2018 is when we started practicing.
Yeah,
you know,
and
did you realize that?
And we didn't have the format down.
Yeah, we were trying to. That's why we were trying.
Yeah,
and we were recording on your one microphone on your fucking laptop.
I still have that file.
Jesus Christ,
it's so bad. It's awesome.
Then Fallon knocks on the door.
Yeah.
Serve us drinks, and we're like, we're recording.
Oh yeah, that's what we were drinking while we were recording.
Yeah.
Oh
man,
fun days.
Anywho, so yeah, Brian and Mark Gunn, who they kind of actually
they're like a duo.
Yeah, they work together on a lot of stuff, not a lot of stuff, but it's some really amusing stuff. Most I think Bring It On Again is one of them, and then like Journey 2, which is I didn't know they made a sequel to Journey to the Center of Earth with The Rock. I was like, what the fuck? But the one, and I want to sit down and talk with Fallon about this because I think only she would be nostalgic with me, maybe me, Fallon, and Michelle. But they did Together, that MTV.
I don't know what that is. It's before my time.
It's a spoof on boy bands.
That's cool. Is it a movie or a show?
It was an MTV original movie, and then they spun it off into a short one-season show.
Did we talk about this with Spice Girls?
Possibly.
This sounds kind of familiar.
I think I was trying to remember it during Spice Girls, and I was
like
just
you
struggling.
knew the concept.
Yeah, I was like, God, what the fuck was this thing? I'm not making it up, type thing. And I know that Fallon and I have talked about it before, just like in passing, or just like out having drinks, because they have this song called "You Plus Me Equals Us" Calculus, and
that made me really angry, unjustifiably.
And they've also like Brian and Mark, they wrote the music for this boy band shit too. This boy band like spoof show. It's like Spinal Tap for boy bands.
That sounds kind of cool.
It's freaking hilarious, especially at the height of the time.
Who's
it was like,
in it? Is there anybody in it?
You would recognize some of the people. One of them is Chris Farley's brother, who plays the older brother type, Kevin Farley. And the funny thing about that is that he is clearly just like a decade older than all of these 20-year-olds. And he's like
he clearly is.
Yeah. Like he's balding, but he has braces. And it's just like hilarious for them to just like lean into this like, oh, the older brother type, because they lean into like the shy one, the heartthrob, the bad boy.
The formula.
Yeah,
for this shit.
It's freaking hilarious.
I don't recognize anyone. Maybe you have to see them.
Kevin Farley, I think you would recognize if you looked at a picture of him.
Tyler Labine, he's in this. That's funny. I love Tyler Labine. Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh, okay.
Find a Girl for Barry. You ever see that?
That sounds really familiar.
I think you'd like that. He's like the really obnoxious kind of burnout friend, and they're like,
oh yeah,
they're all getting.
Oh my god, yes. Oh my god,
they finally get her a girl, but she's just as bad as he is. And they're like this tour de France.
Oh, is it her? Are you talking about the blonde girl that he starts dating? Oh wait, no, you're talking about the guy.
The guy.
Yeah. What is her name?
I don't remember. Oh, I would love to watch that again. Hey, recommendation for the day. That's a really good one.
What was it? Was it
Find a Girl for Barry?
Yeah.
Something like that. Find a girl for Barry. Find a wife for Barry. Something like that.
Yeah. Oh man, that movie's.
He's funny.
That movie's like crazy underappreciated. I don't know. Yeah.
Very cringy humor.
Very cringy. It's uncomfortable humor.
It's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable, but it's pretty funny. Anyway, sorry.
Let's get back on to Brightburn here. We're gonna have a wonderful conversation about Brightburn. We're just kind of all over the place right now.
Okay.
This was also produced by James Gunn, so I wouldn't be surprised that he had a lot of influence in like
creative influence
and everything and whatnot.
I mean, he's the superhero guy now.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's
like his butt is the Star Wars guy now.
So yeah, we have Kevin.
You can do it.
Feige, right? Yeah, because I always say wrong. Yeah,
I trust you with names.
Kevin Feige. for Marvel MCU, which also he came forward saying that they're continuing forward with Phase 5 after a bunch of just like very lackluster movies coming out. Instead of like hiring fresh new writers, they're gonna start they're looking for like critically acclaimed writers, like Nick Pizzolatto. They've brought on to be a screenplay writer for one of the future movies. He wrote True Detective.
Oh, okay.
The guy that wrote Beef is going to be a writer for MCU now for a little bit. Like Kevin Feige is looking. He's like, okay, we're fucking up. We want to make good product, and they're actually
how do we do that?
Yeah. So like, it's not like Marvel's like, who cares? We're making a bunch of money. Like they're trying to do stuff. They're they're trying to fix a problem.
Yeah.
But then you got James Gunn,
who's now DC guy, right?
The DC guy, yeah. I'm really curious to see, and apparently the Flash is supposed to be the reset for everything.
It's supposed to be the Days of Future Past.
Yeah, that type thing.
That's what I read too.
I also found an article today of Ezra Miller like apologizing for all of his actions. And talking,
I can't believe that movie's coming out.
And talking about, and actually, like explicitly talking, he's like, I really, oh yeah, thank you. They were talking about how Hollywood doesn't treat child actors, that they need to like have more like people watching their mental state, because they were talking about how there was something about Let's Talk About Kevin. And how there was something they never really they got into that character, and there was something that they never got out. Like they never could come out of a certain like mindset from that. They're Kevin.
They're Kevin.
Yeah, Ezra Miller. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
that's been on the list for us to do for a while.
I mean, it's just interesting for and we'll see where their future and everything goes.
I mean, it definitely felt like something mental was going on.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
it felt like a spiral kind of erratic behavior,
Yeah, and then Dave Filoni we got for Star Wars is now the head of Star Wars. Kathleen Kennedy's out, and Dave Filoni is a hero. And he's with Jon Favreau doing their stuff. But all right, we're really derailing. Let's go into starring really quick.
I was about to reel you in. So our lead is Elizabeth Banks, who plays Tori / mom. I don't know, 40-year-old virgin. Funny enough.
Yeah, Beth. It's interesting. It's like it's her top build, and I think what people would actually most recognize her from is Hunger Games.
I guess it depends on your age. Like for me, it's Scrubs.
Okay, yeah.
She was a long-term girlfriend for JD, right?
She has their kid.
She's the one that gets pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in that for a minute.
Yeah, she's the late kind of reoccurring main character. But then also, for me, it's like I immediately go to Zach Mary Make a Porno. What?
Slither.
Oh yeah, she's in Slither too. And then
Spider-Man.
Wet Hot American Summer.
Okay, that's probably it for me.
Wet Hot American
Summer. And then I think the first time I remember that's Elizabeth Banks was Spider-Man. I remember.
I didn't know. I mean, I think it was like re-watching it later on.
Yeah,
I was like, holy shit, is that Elizabeth Banks?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And then she's also in Pitch Perfect as one of the panelist people they judge. Like, she's fucking hilarious with the guy that I forget his name. They're just funny together in their banter. She's all over the place. It's crazy. She was Rita Repulsa in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie.
Yeah, I remember her being kind of like cool in that.
I liked it.
I thought she was a cool Rita.
Yeah,
it was an interesting take on her.
I thought that was just an interesting take on the Power Rangers.
Yeah,
I really wish they would have continued that.
Too bad we're not gonna. Because it was one of those things too. It's like everyone panned it, but it's like if you let it start here and then let it get momentum, it could morph into something really cool. That was an excellent
morphin' time.
But it's people are just so, and then studios obviously get so quick to pull the plug, and it's like, well, you got to get some momentum.
It was interesting is that they were actually kind of following the comics more.
But even then, it's weird for a studio too, because it's like you realize you could like do all the toys again. You can make a lot of money off of this if you just keep it up. You can make a whole new line of toys, and
well, let's keep going. Oh, yeah. Let's trudge through. We're
David Denman that plays Kyle / Dad. The Office.
Yeah, he is Roy.
Also in Power Rangers.
Yep, Pam's first boyfriend in The Office. I remember in a specific episode of the X-Files where him and his like girlfriend get eaten by some fungus ooze.
He was kind of a reoccurring character in Drop Dead Diva.
Never saw that.
Which my partner really liked. It was cute.
He's one of those like he's super recognizable for me because of The Office.
Yeah. He's been in a lot,
and
but it just didn't.
It's just like he's like a minor role in a lot of little things. He's also a big stage actor too.
He's one of those like Leonardo DiCaprio. Hey, you know when you're watching. He's one of those. You know where you're like, hey, I didn't know you were in this. He just kind of is like, slinking around.
He's like taking the drag. Like, yeah, that's the scene. Yeah.
And then our main person, our bad guy, I guess, is Jackson A. Dunn. Do you know what the relation is? I couldn't find anything.
I mean, it's Dunn, not Gunn. So.
Oh, holy shit! That's why. I didn't. That's pretty funny. I didn't even.
Oh my fuck!
I was just really fixated on the gun thing. So. Oh, that's really funny. That's why. Okay.
You know what's funny is like when I was writing his name down, I was like, wow, that's really close to Gunn. I wonder if people get that confused.
They do. Jackson A. Dunn is in a James Gunn movie. It's a pretty like honest mistake. Anyways, it was in Shameless and Avengers.
Yeah. We'll see where his career, if he has. I think he will like do some more stuff if he decides. If it's
because I mean he's like 19 now.
Yeah,
so.
he looks like a young Timothée Chalamet, even though Timothée Chalamet's already young. Like he kind of looks like Timmy, like Timothée Chalamet is like the evolution, the evolved version of Jackson A. Dunn.
Isn't it like Timothée Chalamet leading to Adam Driver, leading to Keanu Reeves? Is that like?
No, I saw it was like Timothée Chalamet to Johnny Depp.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyways, is there any
evolution? Pokemon evolution memes.
Anyone else you wanted to mention, or is that kind of?
I mean, Michael Rooker's at the end, but like, there's just I don't know, like James Gunn's wife plays the teacher, and she's the secret, or she's in a Peacemaker, she's the lead female in Peacemaker.
Oh yeah. I didn't even notice that.
Mm-hmm.
They're married.
Yeah, that's his wife.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Good job, bro.
She's like 25 years younger than him or something. Yeah, maybe 15, but yeah.
Good job, bro. Detective bro.
But yeah, it's a pretty small cast. There is the like best friend uncle and like aunt. I didn't really recognize anything. Well, the best friend uncle, like he's got that unique voice.
He was in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Matt
He was one of
Matt Jones.
Matt Jones. He was one.
And then Meredith Hanger are the aunt and uncle.
What the fuck? What's his name?
I know you're good. Focus.
God damn it!
Get back on track.
Jesse.
Jesus Christ.
Jesse's friend.
Owie. Let's
right.
get to reviews. Give us our.
Yeah, so like what I was saying is like this movie has like kind of like weird, like it's as you probably read, not very well, extremely like reviewed well. It's got a 6.1 on IMDb, a 57 tomato meter, and a 67 audience score. So like even out of like audience, like it didn't really break anything higher than like.
I'm very excited to read these reviews because I think you'll enjoy them.
Okay.
Just like because it's actually they're like I had a really hard time picking because a lot of them were just so like on point. So I actually wrote down a couple. So for our it is 7 positive, 14 mixed, and 10 negative.
God damn, I don't think it really deserves negatives.
So 71 out of 100 with Whitney Sebold at IGN. Brightburn doesn't take its satire to any kind of satisfying extreme, although a mid-credits stinger does include a large joke at work, but as a superhero murder thriller, it is perfectly entertaining.
Okay, I really quick want to establish what we mean by satire, because in my opinion, satire is meant for humor, but I guess like satire itself is just a deconstruction of an idea represented in a different way. Are you looking at the definition of satire?
Okay, yeah, here we go. So satire, the actual definition is the use of humor, irony, exaggeration, or ridicule to expose and criticize people's stupidity or vices, particularly in the context of contemporary politics and other topical issues.
Yeah, I don't feel like this is a satirical movie. This isn't satire. This is it's a reimagining of a classic comic book hero in a different light. Mm-hmm. And like, it's because also this is a horror movie.
The art of making someone or something look ridiculous, raising laughter in order to embarrass, humble, or discredit its target.
Yeah, exactly. So like for them to be like this satire, it's like it's not meant to be a satire.
But maybe that's what kind of was this downfall. People were going in expecting a satire.
How? Like the
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. People are just stupid. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, because we see, especially doing this podcast and this review, we see so many times people are going into something thinking
we do it sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, that's why now we don't watch trailers.
I still watch all the trailers.
Well, I don't. Like, all I've seen is the teaser trailer of Evil Dead Rises, and that's all. I only do teasers. I don't do any more than that.
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't want you wiring me. You know, especially with stuff like horror movies, where in the trailer they show you all the good shit.
Like Smile, like had like all the good like jump scares in it already.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, and I still liked Smile. Like, I thought it was, but yeah. Anyways,
yeah. Okay. Let's keep going with reviews.
A mix with 58 out of 100. Where are you? Chris Nashawati at Entertainment. The movie is more or less all premise. The rest is an occasionally suspenseful, occasionally gory sci-fi riff on any number of earthbound creepy kid thrillers. I picked that one because I like the movie. The premise is cool.
Yeah, that's a really good take on this. That's a really good take.
And then I put a note, see Benjamin Lee at The Guardian, who gave it a 60 out of 100. It's a film that's good enough that you want it to be better. A rare genre example of less not proving to be more. Whoa. But
just say that again?
It's a film that's good enough that you want it to be better. A rare genre example of less not proving to be more.
Okay.
Damn, that was... my brain skipped like a CD there. But like that's how I really feel about it too. It's a film that's good enough that I really wanted more to it, you know? And then for who did I pick for... hey, Mick LaSalle again. 25 out of 100 at San Fran Chronicle. Where is it? With Brightburn, there's not even a pretense of idealism. It's a superhero movie with the soul of an 80s slasher film.
Yeah.
Which I was like, yeah, but that's what makes it cool.
That's what they were trying to do.
And so it's like, and they did it well. They did it well.
So maybe you should give it like a 70 out of 100 because you hit it on the head on exactly what it's supposed to be.
And then this is, so I agreed with Ben, and then this other one, Ed Gonzalez, 25 out of 100 on Slant. The way the film shuffles through its 90 minutes, it's as if it's been stripped of its most crucial narrative parts. And I feel like, so this movie is about an hour and a half, 15 more minutes. So that's a 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minute scenes. You could have made more lore. Because this movie is just a big eating the carrot. Because like his descent is just, it doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel...
Okay, I kind of have like 3 thoughts to take on to just what you just read.
Okay. Number 1.
First one, I think without the knowledge of Superman and Superman's origin, this movie doesn't make sense. Falls flat.
That's an interesting point.
It carries so much of who Superman is as an idea, as a character.
The building block is Superman, and you need to have that knowledge. That's
because this is a deconstruction of Superman. So, and it's source material, and you can't take the source material out of the source.
Yeah.
2.
Interesting.
I agree that there could have been more, maybe lore, more script or something, but I think what that is actually an underthought or overlooked. Oh, is that what I wrote? Yeah, like overlooked moments in the script and story. That.
What do you mean by that?
Big thing is like the just a quick example is the friend or brother, uncle buying Brandon the gun. And the dad's like, whoa, we agreed no guns. Like, no, he's too young for that. And he's not mad at his friend for buying his son a gun. It's like, one, who the fuck just buys a 12-year-old a gun without consulting their parents? And why isn't this parent like, dude, like, can we have a conversation? Like, why would
come over here for a second?
Like, what the fuck is your deal? Like, why would you buy my 12-year-old kid a gun without talking to me?
As soon as he picked up the box, too, I was like, did he buy him a gun?
Yeah. You see, so it's like, it's weird, overlooked, underdeveloped moments like that.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And then also just kind of like
number 3.
Well, it's taking on with that. It's like him being like being evil alien is kind of like, it's like kind of like a pushed and rushed idea.
That's it doesn't feel natural and it feels lazy.
Yeah,
because it's like I saw this when it came out and I haven't watched it since. But even when I was explaining it to my partner, I was like, yeah, he's a psycho, and I had this memory of him already being a psycho, and then he gets his powers. I was like, no. And then I was watching. I was like, no. He's this really nice, well-adjusted, loved child. Not until
he starts the calling of the spaceship, where because he's starting to get the message back home. Well, and we can go more into that in a minute. But because my number 3 thing is the fact that the movie tries to be this like horror. Well, like it is a horror movie.
It's really graphic. Just a heads up to everybody. The murder scenes
I got like a fucking nose hair that's just like bothering me.
Get in there.
I've been trying to,
like subtly, like
dude. I literally while you were reading the review, I was like, trying to.
I saw that. I did, but I was like, okay, whatever.
Anywho, hey, good stuff for the camera. I never feel like they find the type of horror they want this to be. I feel like they should have leaned more into the suspense horror of how terrifying this child is. But then like you had like these really gory moments, like when the brother, uncle, his face gets.
I covered Fallon's eyes. It was like a split second. I remember.
I completely forgot about the scene. When his surprise, when his jaw falls off, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, like it was right when the car got lifted up and it flashed. I went, oh shit. I covered her eyes. And she's like, what? I'm like, you don't want to see this.
And it's like, it's over the top gore. And it's like, is it necessary for this movie? Like the type of horror that they're trying to do feels like a different type of movie than what we're trying.
It's so over the top and aggressive. It doesn't fit. Like even when he kills the spoiler, you've seen this if you're listening to this. We're not talking like new stuff. Like when he kills the
like 4 years ago, it's new. Sorry.
What?
When he kills
the dad.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing though. That's what's that's what you need. Just like I was saying, this extra 15 minutes. Like don't make it 2 hours or 2.5 hours, but make it an hour and 45.
Well, no, it's like I feel like if you just like reconfigure, like take out some of this, like that entire like him killing his uncle doesn't need that big gore. It could just be drop the car and then he's like all banged up, maybe just like a little bit of gash, maybe like. Something. He doesn't need to have his jaw fall off.
Yeah, but I mean, you're also talking about Gunn, though.
Yeah,
Gunn likes his
exactly.
violence.
But that's also that's where it's like I feel like if James Gunn was directing and like in control of this, he would have like there would have been either more of that or it would have made more sense. Does that make what I'm saying?
Oh, I kind of do like the idea of James Gunn like at the head of this. I'm like, this movie would have been really a lot more fucked up.
Yeah,
it would have been. But that's even the thing too about it. It's like. If you and it's when we have these conversations, there's like a part of me that's like, I know that the writers had this conversation, but it's like I know that they had the conversation of him already being like a sociopath and then getting his powers.
Well, this has been a passion project for them for a while.
But you know they had that conversation. Why did they decide to? Was it to make him more likable? Like the descent?
No, I think what it is it's to kind of go into that nature versus nurture thing, kind of like what we were talking about with Chronicle.
Yeah.
And that's just like when you're talking about any supervillain like origin story, that you got to really kind of like start to really think about that. Like, is this person like were they born a sociopath
or did they become one?
Or did they become one?
Yeah.
And when it comes to Brandon, you see that and also there could have been more ways of like the parents approaching him, like like a big thing is like if we're really comparing this to like from the source material of Superman, one of the most iconic moments that's now in Superman lore, which was originally in the 1970s Superman movie, is when Superman crash, like meteorite comes down, it flips the truck and why I'm forgetting the parents' names.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Jonathan and Martha. That do you not remember the first movie?
The first Superman movie?
Yeah, with Christopher Reeves.
No, I've never seen it.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those. I just know a lot about it, but I've never actually sat down.
No, so there's an iconic moment at the beginning.
I hated Superman my whole life.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm like more into him now than I ever was.
Where they're just driving down the road and the meteorite crashes, and a young Clark Kent, Kal-El, lifts as a toddler, as a baby, pretty much lifts the truck off of them to save them, and they're just like amazed by that this child did this, and they adopt him. So they know from the beginning that he is special, and so from the beginning they kind of let him know, like, hey, you are different from everybody. And as he gets older, like Jonathan is like, telling him, is like, hey, like you can actually.
They hid it from him, so he doesn't know what's going on.
Exactly. So then once the ship starts calling to him, and what does it take the world? Is being like, he's translating it, learning his like mother language, his native language, and
mother.
Yeah. The motherland.
From the mother Russia. The motherland.
It's like it's Superman, but it strangely reminds me a lot of, and like this, like it's based off of Superman a little bit as well in the Monkey King, but it reminds me of Goku from Dragon Ball. Is because like Superman wasn't sent to Earth, or Kal-El wasn't sent to Earth to destroy it or take it over.
But yeah, I know.
Goku was sent as a Saiyan to
destroy the
world, kill the human race, exterminate.
But it's just like, but yeah,
it's almost like if this is like Zod's kid getting sent instead of Kal-El,
There's an entire movie about that.
Is there?
Yeah.
What movie?
Yeah, there's a movie. Gods and Monsters.
Zod's kid is sent instead of Superman?
So the planet's getting destroyed. Like, that's happening.
Yeah.
But it's all Zod's fault. I don't know. I think that was a change. And what they do is that Superman isn't like a baby yet. He's like an egg.
A test tube?
Yeah, he's
premature.
He's an egg. And then what's his name? What's his dad's name?
Kal-El.
Well, that's Superman's name.
Oh, yeah.
Jal-El?
Russell Crowe?
Yeah, Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe's going to put his DNA in it, and then Zod shows up and he puts his DNA in it.
Oh,
so
weird.
he comes to Earth and he grows up, but he grows up in Mexico.
Mexico,
and then his adoptive parents are legal immigrants, and they sneak into America. So he has this like real edge to him because he's Zod's kid, and then he also kind of grew up in a different area under different cultural stuff.
Wow,
dude.
Man.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max, man. Check it out. It's sick.
Okay, all right.
Anyway. And Batman's a vampire. It's not Bruce Wayne though.
What the fuck? Okay,
yeah,
all right, let's get back on the. We've. It's funny. We have a lot to talk about with Brightburn, and we're getting easily distracted.
Well, because it could be like you said, the core of it is Superman.
Yes,
and you brought up a really interesting point that if you don't have knowledge about Superman, this movie is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It really, it's like, and it's so interesting. It's like, okay, that's why, because like as comic book nerds and superhero nerds, we're like, oh, this is kind of cool.
But there is a certain thing I do,
and I love my what if shit. You know that,
yeah. And I do. There is like there's some semblance of like metaphorical ideas being put into this movie.
Oh yeah, like the wasp thing.
Yes, and I love that. I love that because as he talks about like that's what he is that he is that wasp being put into the beehive to eradicate everything, to then have the other wasps come in and take control.
Well, even his like costume
his
too
mask
looks like a
very
wasp.
Bug-like. Yeah. And what like in bugs and bugs are so alien looking as well already, and it's like I think that's a very well thought out thing.
But that's what makes it kind of irritating though.
Why?
I'm kind of doing like the whole like, it's like you clearly really thought about some of these things.
Yes.
But there's some of these things you didn't think about for 10 seconds.
And that's what I'm saying. Underthought and overlooked.
There you go. Oh yeah. because in that review, it's like all premise. The package is there.
Yeah.
That you could do something really cool with it, but you just didn't really. It feels like you didn't really commit.
Because I feel like, and it's like in this where it's like I feel like they were trying to make a horror movie. They were trying too hard to make a horror movie with Superman, as opposed to deconstructing and taking Superman and then making him just a psychopath. Because that's another thing is that when I remember the first time I watched this movie, it didn't fully click to me that he was just inherently in him.
Well, it's
to be evil like that.
He's kind of a sleeper agent. Now that I'm thinking about
exactly.
it.
Yeah,
like his code word is the space, whatever the spaceships. Dora from Finding Nemo.
Oh,
speaking whale. Well, then,
but yeah. Sorry.
No, I was just, I was going to that whole space. Well, and then like you were talking about the unnecessary job thing. Yeah. Well, even with the mom, he has her like
the eye.
She's gutted. It's just like it's a scene from Slither basically, and you're just kind of like.
Well, and then it's like them leaning into like him like interested in like the human anatomy type thing is that really a necessary step to show like how creepy and weird this kid is?
No, but it would be. If you committed more into
that, it's either lean farther into that or just take it out and just lean into him being like a fucking like stalker sociopath.
But that's what I'm feeling too. I'm feeling like those scenes exist. They took them out.
Yeah,
because it's like also with them like with James being and just them being writers and like film people. It's like there's no way that what am I trying to say? I'm just saying that there is another anatomy scene. There's the first one, then there's a middle one, and then it leads to the waitress. That middle one is missing.
The girl's mom.
Yeah. The escalation is missing pieces.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, if you look in his room, there's also like not only there's like there's the diagram of the frog that's been dissected that looks exactly like the mother, or the girl's mother.
Oh, I was like, the frog looks like the... Okay, I got it.
No, like there's it's literally, it's a diagram of a frog and it's like cut open.
Yeah.
And when the mother goes and looking at the ship and you see the girl's mother, it looks exactly like the frog diagram that's in his bedroom.
Yeah.
So like there's interesting like attention to detail of stuff like that as well. That just shows that this is where his mind is at. But also like his lack of empathy is as opposed to the parents sitting down and being like, look, he's like, I am better than you guys. And then it's like, okay, let's talk about that. Like why, like he still has a developing mind. All of the adults, I mean, fairly, because this kid could murder them easily, they're all terrified of him. And that terror gives him more power.
Yeah. I mean, but even like on the bare premise of spaceship lands, you find a baby and you keep it, you're fucking moron.
Yeah,
just what I mean. This isn't.
Well, it's also like going to that another like avenue of like how the horror in this movie kind of like they don't really have like their grounding of like what kind of horror this is the dad's nightmare sequence. Comes out of like it makes sense in a way. It's like, oh, he's obviously scared of him, but why are we watching this other than to reaffirm what we already know, that the father is terrified of his kid and regrets the day that they got him out of the crash landing.
And that's also interesting too. Like he knows he's adopted.
Yeah.
So why don't just fuck it? Like he's gonna find out.
Yeah.
It's like, especially you have the spaceship.
Why are you even keeping the spaceship?
Why are you keeping the spaceship?
Why don't you bury it in the fucking forest?
Do something. But that's the thing. I'm really stuck on this like idea that there's
Actually, I know why they would probably hide it, because if they leave it, then someone would find it, and then
they'll
people
call the authority.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, what came out of it, and then that puts Brandon at danger.
We have ET.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just really stuck on this like lost footage thing, because I'm like, I know there are scenes.
There may not be, man. You don't
really
know.
Feel like it, because it feels that way. It feels like
they could have literally underthought. Overlooked.
I wonder if there's an unrated version.
No.
Everyone, filmmakers out there, release your unrated fucking shit. I feel like you're hiding things from me.
They are the things they don't want you to see.
I wanted to see.
But
How'd you think of the acting?
it was fine.
I really liked what's his butt.
The dad?
The dad. I really liked him.
Yeah,
He
no, he was really good.
He was reminding me of someone. He was giving me off.
Dad vibes?
Yeah, but another dad from another like movie. It was, God damn it! I really had it. Whatever. The kid was okay, but yeah, I also
The
think
kid
there
was
a-
terrifying when
I
he'd
think-
be like, I don't think it's a good idea for you to do that.
I don't like the lack of any kind of remorse. Again, I felt that was just really quick to jump to.
It was.
There was no
Yeah.
internal battle, because even Andrew for a minute had like an internal struggle with that, and
Yeah.
then he finally had his accident and had his snap. This was just suddenly like, I want to rip off your head now. Suddenly, and you're like. Because that's the thing, he was so nice, and I get it. You know, he's an alien. It's something triggered in him, a different anatomy. You can put so many carrots on this.
I mean, you can break down a little bit at the beginning, like in the first class scene where he starts going off about the wasps and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden that one kid's like, "Yo, you're weird because you know stuff."
You know bugs.
Yeah, and
Big Grissom.
It's like, okay, well, he's obviously like, he feels like an outsider. He is bullied a little bit, it seems like. And then that girl's the first one to say something kind of nice to him. So then he fixates on her. So we have this established idea that he doesn't fit in at school.
Why does he break her hand?
Because she doesn't want to touch him. And
Right.
Because
he already
stalked her. He already went into her room and just and played a fucking weird, creepy.
pulled Edward Cullen.
Yeah.
I like watching you while you sleep. I don't know what in people's brains make, I don't know, that romantic. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Cool, I'll sleep with you now. It's like, I don't like.
Oh, Stephanie Meyer. Got some problems. Anywho.
I really don't get the romanticism of that.
Yeah, I think this ultimately. What would I think that there's a lot of like fun imagery that is alluding to Superman as well, with like the cape, the blanket, the red, but as like he starts out with more blue and neutral colors, and then as it slowly progresses, as he slowly becomes more and more of a murderer, it becomes all red.
I like this movie.
Yeah.
I know I was like getting annoyed at it, but it's like, that's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
But it's like, I really enjoyed this movie also because of there's a fair enough amount of tension. It really does have that over the top 80s violence slasher feel to it. But I like that. I like that in a modern setting.
It just feels out of place because it just kind of like it happens so sparingly,
That's
so
another
sparsely
thing.
that it doesn't feel like it's like it's either that needs to be more in this movie or it doesn't need to belong in this movie at all.
That's why I'm really loving the idea of James Gunn directing
Yeah.
it, because then even too, if Gunn had like completely like been in control of this, I feel like it would have connected to Slither. They would have been in the same universe.
That would have been weird.
Yeah, it would have been cool. Like,
Yeah.
you have two alien, like, I don't know. But what are we at?
We're almost 50.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we actually kind of concisely have talked about this movie,
Considering
the short in a short amount of time, despite all of the weird random tangents we've gone off on. Yeah, I think
like the only death that really kind of fits is the mom's in a weird way.
no, the dad's 100%.
No, but even that's over the top. He melts his fucking head.
You see, but like that one, I feel like can be justified in the sense because
He attacked him.
he just got shot in the back of the head by who's supposed to be his father.
But also with that too, you could have played, like, once you realize, oh, he's bulletproof, you could have played it off like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. The gun just went. You could try. He didn't even try to like
That kid's gonna murder him.
weasel out.
It doesn't
of it.
matter. That kid's gonna
I
murder.
know, but
He knows.
It's just like, because then he goes to real. It's like, dude, fuck the gun. The gun's not going to do anything. Move on from the gun.
I would have literally just dropped down on my knees, and be like, "I'm so sorry. I'm just terrified of you.
You're scary." No, I thought the mom was also. That was just like as tragic and sad it is. It's a great shot.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
a really good shot for that movie.
Well, especially like how you can see this semblance of like maybe there's like she can maybe give some empathy to him, but she's like still so terrified that she feels like she has to murder him.
Mm-hmm.
And when he
Well, that whole house scene when he's like fucking flying through and stuff, and he's just
terrifying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they did that they made Superman very scary, which is always really fun to see because there are, there's the Russian one, but he's not evil in that. That goes more into like politics.
yeah, that's it's a morality of culture.
or like Injustice when he kills the Joker.
Ultraman. Oh no, sorry, I thought we were going to Injustice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Ultraman.
Well, a lot of people feel like this is more of would be kind of quote unquote an origin story for Ultraman, but even Ultraman was originally more in the morality of Superman, but then his power, he started to just get more.
Ultraman's invincible, right?
No, I'm talking about when Super instead in the the parallel universe
in Justice League or whatever. Well, what's
I guess
then?
Ultraman. Invincible.
name?
I think his name is Ultraman.
I'm trying to remember
I think it is Ultraman.
Well, like it's kind of more, but even that's a play on Superman because even the Kryptonians they were like colonial colonizers.
Yeah.
Too, they had this air. That's why Zod's the way he is. They have this air of superiority over other creatures. So it's like, at the end of the day, it's all based off Superman. So
yeah,
fucking pick one.
Exactly, and that's okay. Like just kind of wrap this all up.
Were there plans to make this like a
franchise?
Whole, yeah,
no.
Well, because with that
it was just for fun. It was just for fun.
Well, then why they do the picture like at the end?
Why is Super in it?
Well, because you got Aquaman,
Wonder Woman,
and then Brightburn, so Superman, Wonder Woman. It looks more like the Flash. Like I feel like I get it's his character, but I feel like it's an homage to the Flash.
No, it's Rainn Wilson.
No, I know, but I mean the color scheme and everything.
I think it was just a little fun.
And, the Martian Manhunter.
There's the satire in there.
Is the question mark Batman? I would assume the question mark is Batman,
probably
because he's the sneaky.
Yeah, he's going to be the Bat Child.
I kind of want that. I want that series now, though. That'd be cool. What I'm really curious. The one that gets me really curious is the Wonder Woman one.
Yeah,
like the witch or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like I was like, that looks.
Oh, that's how they interpret this. Like
yeah.
Like young woman or maybe just woman, I guess. Because she.
But I mean, I would love an entire franchise of like superhero horror movies. That'd be fucking sick.
I think that was also another thing is that people thought that's where James Gunn and they were trying to lead towards this, and I think that was it's James Gunn. He likes to like have his fun with his stuff.
Yeah. Because he was like executive producer or something like that on this. So yeah, he definitely, and you could feel it, especially in the death scenes. I'm like, I feel like Gunn was involved in that a lot.
Yeah,
like that.
But going is like I feel like, it's you really if you don't have any knowledge of the origin of Superman, which is the source material of this,
I think you nailed it. With
this movie just kind of doesn't make complete sense. I mean, you can enjoy like you can see like this alien child, blah blah blah, all that stuff. I think it's unevenness of like what it's trying to be in horror hurts it, and then it's overlooked ideas inside of the script. Yeah, it's all premise type thing,
Yeah, it's like I think as knowing if you know this stuff, you can watch it without really being a Superman fan or whatever, but knowing that just helps you forgive certain things. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of carrots in this, and you're just like, okay, I guess that's what we're doing now, sure. But yeah, like knowing about Superman,
I feel like I feel like a lot of this stuff is like it has a logical connection as it goes through, but it just kind of feels like it goes too quick.
Yeah,
that's all.
It just feels loose.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like a tight ship. It feels like kind of like It feels it feels like it could fall apart any second. And it kind of does.
Yeah,
towards the end there.
Because even like the sheriff is kind of like figuring stuff out. He's like, hey, so I found these symbols.
Yeah, but even that was a jump, like BB. I'm like, what?
Yeah, but I mean, he's also like he's looking at what is the common like. It's kind of interesting that.
I mean, yeah, it was stupid who he was killing. It made it pretty obvious who was doing it, and the cop is just kind of like, how are you doing it though?
Yeah,
like I know you're doing it, but I just don't really understand how.
And then also the plane crash at the very end, Brandon destroying the plane, which then was like another like inverse of Superman, Superman who saves the airplane from crashing. He causes the airplane to crash. That's a famous Superman thing.
What's his fucking name in The Boys?
Homelander?
Yeah. Homelander. There's actually, now we're talking about, there's a lot of evil Superman, like,
Yeah.
parodies and
Yeah,
stuff.
there is.
I like that. I really like the what if stuff. I like the parallel universe kind of stuff. What are you giving it?
I kind of give it a 3.
I give it a 2.5.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
I think
it's not good, but it's not bad.
I kind of feel like there is, like, with the wasp metaphor and how the parents just kind of like devolve into not knowing how to handle him, and I feel like that does actually have a big influence. His lack of empathy when it's just kind of like he realizes that he's better than everyone, like, makes sense. He's just like, oh no, I'm just superior. So like, why would I have remorse
for killing an ant?
Yeah,
basically is the kind of it's what's his butts
chronic
It's
or it's also thinking about for if he is that wasp going into the colony and his job is there to eradicate,
he's gonna do his job.
Yeah,
but that's even the thing too. It's like it goes we're gonna start. I think we're done. We're gonna start talking.
Yeah, we're kind of in circles.
But it's just even that. It's like, yeah, that's really cool, the wasp thing and the mask looking like it. But again, you didn't lean into it enough.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's cool that you thought of that, and you're like, the costume designer was like, oh, what if we make it kind of look like a bug? Like, that's cool. And I'm glad that, it's cool that you thought of that, but you didn't lean into it enough, or this shouldn't be like so hidden, where it's kind of like, look at this Easter egg that we added. It's like, well, yeah, let's make it cool, Easter egg and everything, but let's make it more of a plot point, let's get this going a little bit, So that's why I give it 2.5, because the premise is really cool. There's some cool imagery. It's a fun, just slasher romp kind of feel, but it's not like good, but it's not terrible. I've definitely seen worse
I don't really think it's much of a slasher as well. But I will say this: anybody who says satire about this movie, I want to slap the spit out of their face.
The slasher in the sense that like
I know what you mean.
The Michael Myers lurking and following, and then popping
stalking,
up.
the stalker,
the disappearing. Because those shots of him,
like, ooh, there, no, he's not there. Oh.
What was that? The wind. Like,
although that would be fucking terrifying to like see just like the curtain move and all of a sudden there's a face and then it goes back and it's not there. It'd be like,
well, yeah, and the
we're moving.
The design, with the mask and the glowing eyes and everything. He looked cool. Like he looked scary. Oh yeah, so 2.5 for me.
Word. Should we start, like, if we have a little bit, should we start marrying it the two and call it a 2.75?
Sure. If we're like both like really like like on it, so 2.75. Meet in the middle. What are we doing next week? Do we know?
I believe we're doing our sci-fi animated block.
Oh yeah, which one are we doing first?
The 1985 sci-fi movie,
Star Chaser, Legend of
Orin.
Okay, cool. I have no idea what the fuck that is.
It'll be interesting to watch it again because I think the last time I watched it was in my 20s when I bought it on DVD.
I have to borrow yours.
You're gonna have to borrow it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So join us for that, and then the following week we'll be doing my pick, Titan AE, baby.
Yeah, and I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
That's like one of my top animated movies. I love that movie. Also, the music is super 2000s and really like.
I'm totally ready for that.
Terrible, but like rad. What is it? Cosmic Castaway. Check out the song, and you know what I'm talking about. It's real fucking 2000s, like electro rock shit. It's fucking rad. All right. So yeah, like us on Instagram, follow us on Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Apple Podcasts.
We're on all of them.
Podcasts.
Tell your friends about us, leave reviews, and mainly tell your friends about us and let us.
Yeah. Force your friends to listen to us talk.
I know if you want another local podcast, there's 1000 by 1.
Oh, you're so kind.
I've been checking them out. They're actually really cool.
Yeah.
They just I listened to their Who Framed Roger Rabbit episode.
Nice.
It was really funny. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, I guess that's it. This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is
Tommy and Jacob's Mixtape.
Play that funky music.